Hello, and welcome back to the Performance Improvement video training series on how to use the Performance Improvement SharePoint site template. This is the tips and tricks section in which we'll demonstrate how to properly manage files in the Project Documents folder. Let's go ahead and access the Project Documents folder. You can access the folder by clicking on the Project Documents hyperlink in the left-hand navigation bar under the header Documents. Let's go ahead and click on the hyperlink that reads Project Documents. After clicking on the hyperlink, you'll see that the web page refreshes and navigates to the Project Documents folder. In this folder, you can see that we have several files that have already been uploaded. Let's demonstrate how to distribute a file using Outlook. In order to distribute a file through Outlook, what you'll want to do is hover over the file link, right-click on the mouse, scroll down to where you see Copy Shortcut, and click Copy Shortcut. You have now created a shortcut that will navigate directly to this file. Go ahead and open up your Microsoft Outlook account or whichever email function you do use. Create a new email and type in the individual you wish to receive. In this case, I'm going to let the individual know that this is a test hyperlink, and there are a few ways for which you to include the hyperlink to the file. The one way is simply right-click and apologize about that. Select paste. And what that would do is input the web address to that file. The other method, the method that I prefer, is to actually hyperlink that web address to a certain word in a paragraph or sentence. So to demonstrate that, I'm just going to write a generic sentence to Travis, and that would be to access the file, click here. And what I'll do is select the word here and right click on the word here, scroll down to hyperlink, and in the address field here, right click and select paste, which will put in the web address to that file, and select OK. And as you do that, you now see that the word here turns to blue with an underline indicating that it's a hyperlink. And what you'll then do is simply send the file to the individual, and they should now have access to the file. We'll go ahead and navigate back to the SharePoint site. On the SharePoint site now, Travis should have access through that email link to the quarterly no-show rate Excel file that's saved on the Project Documents folder. Okay, that summarizes how to distribute the files via email. You can distribute any file on SharePoint using that same method. A lot of individuals actually distribute their agendas and minutes through the same manner I had just demonstrated. So it's a useful way to ensure that everyone who needs to be informed is informed through the distribution of files. Okay, the next tip and trick I want to show is what's called checking a file in and out. These files, as they exist, can be accessed by anyone who has the appropriate security settings to view this document folder. To ensure that individuals are not saving over one another's works, they can use the check-in, check-out function to secure the file as someone is actually doing work on the file. To do so, you'll highlight the file, hovering over the hyperlink until you see the drop-down arrow appear. Simply click on the drop-down arrow and scroll down to the field that reads Checkout. Click on that button in order to check the file out. What you'll want to do is accept yes, that I do want to check the file out, and we'll allow for the web browser here to refresh momentarily. And what you'll see is that the icon has now changed to display a small green arrow in the lower right hand corner of the file icon, which demonstrates that this file is checked out. So I have the file checked out, and individuals who come to this page as they go to access this file will be notified that currently it's checked out by me, letting them know that I'm doing work on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and open that file, and I can demonstrate the two means of checking a file back in. Go ahead and open Excel, and we will experience a small error because I'm running a certain software package in Excel, so we'll just ignore that and give this server a second to open the file. And as it opens, go ahead and assume I made some modifications to this file. Briefly, we'll just type in the same exact thing that was there so that it does think, Excel does think that I've made a change to the file. So we'll go ahead and click Save, saving that change. And as I go to close the window, you will get a cue from Excel asking, do you want to save? Say yes. And I then asked, do you want to check the file back in now? If you are done making changes to the file, you can go ahead and select yes, and what that will do is close the window and check the file back in one step. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and say no so that I can demonstrate how to check the file in through the other method. So go ahead and say no, and what it's going to do is go ahead and close Excel and return me to the project documents folder on SharePoint site. And as you see here, because I told it no, do not check the file back in, the file appointment reminders is still checked out to me. Okay, the second method of checking the file back in can be done very similarly to the steps you took in order to check the file out. What you'll do is hover over the file hyperlink until you see the drop-down arrow appear to the right side. Simply click on that drop-down arrow, scroll down in that small pane that appears, and select the function or action that says check in, and go ahead and click that. And if I wanted to make a small comment so that for versioning purposes the team can review what modifications I made, I can add that there. In this case, I'm not going to add any comments to it. I'm just simply going to check OK, and again asking for versioning purposes what changes were made. I'm going to go ahead and leave that blank and select OK. And after the web browser refreshes, you'll see that it returns you back to the project documents folder, and we are going to go ahead and look at the file that I previously had checked out, appointment reminders, and you'll see that now the icon does not have an arrow on it, the arrow again which indicates that it's checked out to an individual. So the file is checked back in and able to be accessed by the team for themselves to make the modifications they need to make. Okay. That concludes the tutorial on file management through SharePoint. Again, we covered how to distribute a file through email and also how to check a file in and out.